You got to get content out there. And it's really free organic traffic. Hey, everybody. Chris George here. Welcome back to our Friday Live. Super excited. I got Dan Gruber here. Dan is with Desk Stash. Dan, thanks so much for jumping on.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Of course. So Dan's jumping on. He's got a subscription business called Desk Stash. He's jumping on with me to ask me questions. And as all of you know, I'm always happy to help. And what I love about these is Dan can ask questions that maybe a lot of you have been thinking about for your business, and you can take some of my advice and apply it to your business. Before we even start, Dan, tell us a little bit more about Desk Stash.
Sure, Chris. Desk Stash is for fans of really unique office supplies. Subscribers receive every quarter about 5 to 7 curated items that we've tested and that we love. Our box is never going to contain yellow sticky notes, aluminum push pins, basic, paper clips and the like. The goal of Desk Stash is really to inspire our subscribers to work from home or in the office more creatively and have fun while doing it. Anecdotally, some subscribers have shared that this has really improved their mood when they work in the midst of the pandemic. And that was really our objective in doing all of this. So that's us in a nutshell.
I love it. I love a couple things. One, especially with more and more people working remotely, this is a way to get super creative at their desk. But then also even at the office too, right? Like thinking of cool things to have at your desk. I know mine, I'm kind of like a little bit of a geek. So I have all these little action figures that come from my Loot Crate, and they're are all over my desk. So my desk is generally the messiest one there in the office. But you launched this when?
We launched, this is interesting. We started the company in December of 2019 with the goal of sending out our first box in April of 2020. And in March, everything shut down. We had a few subscribers on board at that point, but we really had to shift our marketing tactics from working in your office, making your colleagues envy your, good taste and whimsy, to shifting to working from home and making that a little more pleasurable for, whatever your workspace is.
Yeah.
So the first box went out in April, and the number of subscribers has really increased since then, as we've shifted our marketing, messaging and tactics, and it's worked well for us.
Love it. So I know this is a side business for you as it stands, and looking for creative ways to build on it. Let's just start off with some questions. This is an ask me anything sort of scenario. So tell me what one of those pressing questions you have, or something I can help you with.
So just by way of background, as you mentioned, I'm in marketing, but I work in the B2B sphere. This is really shifting to a B2C environment. I have very limited experience with that. When I made a career transition about 13 years ago, I spent 2 years with a marketing and advertising agency in San Diego. One of our accounts was Chicken of the Sea. And fun fact, for an entire year, I was the Chicken of the Sea mermaid, for real. I corresponded with people as the mermaid. I was the first guy to hold the gig. I never had to make any personal appearances, thankfully, because it's pretty hot under there. So that was good. And I learned a lot about B2C, but it wasn't retail necessarily. Yeah. So one of my challenges is getting to know more about B2C, and particularly reaching corporate folks who are obviously consumers who want to, either reward their employees with this box or, give it to clients as a means of showing we appreciate you, that sort of thing. And so though I've been advertising on LinkedIn, not LinkedIn, but Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn is where I really need to be. And I don't have any experience doing that. So what are your thoughts on that?
I actually think it's really, really smart that you're thinking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn right now is probably the second best platform for free organic traffic as it stands. So what I mean by that is Facebook and Instagram are very competitive. If you come out with a content piece, everybody's fighting for those eyeballs. And organic is harder, so you got to go to paid, and paid can get expensive, right? With TikTok, which is number one, and not that this is a fit for your product, but in general, there's a lot of free eyeballs on TikTok, right? You can make a video sitting at your house and you get 1 million views. We're seeing it happen all day long, right? Dogface 420 was riding a longboard drinking cranberry juice, and his life changed.
Right.
20 years ago, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So with LinkedIn is the second, right? LinkedIn's traffic is like, because it was based off of like a community of professionals. We're now seeing more and more like consumer facing things happening. But on the truth of it is, like 4 years ago, the market wasn't as big, but now all those professionals are consumers.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of, you could do a post on LinkedIn about like 5 ways to improve your work at home day. And like 3 of them are like stretch and take a 10-minute break. And like number 3 is like get a desk stash to your,
Right.
That could get thousands of eyeballs for free. So what I think you should be doing is continuing to create content around the work at home lifestyle.
Okay. Through the desks. So I would need to set up a desk stash corporate page on LinkedIn.
Or you could be posting it. I mean, maybe through your other job, it wouldn't be the way to do it, but like,
yeah,
it's for your professional profile, right? So like as an entrepreneur, you have this profession that you do pretty much daytime, and this is like your sort of side project.
right.
That's still Dan's projects. Like I think that I would, Dan posting it would be absolutely fine. Like I think it's good, right? So I wouldn't worry about that, but you could. But the truth is also, it's like, what you said earlier that a part of it is like helping people have a better work from home life or be more excited about being at their desk.
Right.
So make all your content around that. Right. And sometimes you don't always have to be, when you're educating the consumer, you're giving them really good stuff that gets them to want to come to you, and they like watch your content more, and they're more likely to potentially sign up for your product.
Right.
Because you're giving them more than just a product. Right. What I try to preach to everybody is don't be transactional. Don't just send somebody a box and then that's it. Right. You need to be more than that. So coming up with creative content around the work from home life or desk life, I think will work really well on LinkedIn. And I would start posting that, and you'll get free organic traffic.
Okay.
One of those articles could get 10,000 views.
True. So paid advertising isn't necessarily, though they offer it on LinkedIn.
You can do it, but I'm saying there's a lot of free right now. There's a lot of free right now. And this, the way you're building this business, I would be looking at like a lot of free organic traffic.
Yeah. And I started this business. It's self-funded. I was really scrappy with regard to, reaching out to review sites, YouTube unboxers that would do it for free. Certainly Instagram is my main way of getting subscribers because it's a really visual product. And I think if you show people rather than telling them what the product is, they're going to get it. I often have people go to my website and they don't really either understand the subscription box model or the fact that, you can't just one-off buy a record player that looks like a tape dispenser. You know what I mean?
Well, 2 things to that. One, like if Instagram's working, like whatever you're posting on Instagram, post it on LinkedIn. You can change the copy a little bit, but those same posts should be going there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's the same thing. And it's like almost guaranteed that more people on LinkedIn are working at a desk.
Right.
Probably. Right. Like versus what you're, the demographic. So, I think that it's a no-brainer. Whatever you're posting on Instagram, just start posting that same image on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And maybe you can change the copy a little bit, but you don't necessarily have to, right? You gotta get content out there. And it's really free organic traffic. Now, you mentioned going to your website, some people are unsure, right? Yeah. And I'd say that, like, from my perspective on your website, we need to make this a little bit more like it needs a facelift, meaning it needs to be a little bit more fun, right? Like we want to really show off the bat, like, for example, you have one picture of the side of a desk with the sand.
Right. Yeah.
We need more. We need full desks.
You're right. That isn't even a photo that I took. It's from, a royalty-free.
Sure. We need more organic pics. We need to inspire others to take photos of their stuff from you on their desk and send them in.
Right.
And we can do that through contests. You could do a best desk setup award, like contest, like wins, a $200. I'm making stuff up right now. $200 Office Depot gift card, right? Something, right? Or a luggage set from Looney, right? Like they travel. Professionals are traveling. They work at desks.
Yeah.
Create a contest because, one, it gets people to engage. It gets them to share their photos. They are now doing something that you can take that asset and apply it to your business.
Right.
Showcasing all those on the website. Now people are seeing this like in live. Like now I get it. Like this guy's making my desk look awesome.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Of the 30-second video that I have on the homepage now, sort of describes it,
Yep.
and those are actual products that we've sent out. But
I
I
see.
think
Yeah.
that visually that sort of tells the story without text. I didn't want the homepage to be very text heavy, but you're right. I mean, offering that opportunity to my subscribers, it also engages them.
You
And
know what? Let me tell you something. I
please,
didn't even know about any of these cool things until I just saw that video. I had no idea about the tape dispenser. I
yeah,
had no idea about the little bet. You had to show those because
yeah,
remember, consumers' attention span's very, very short. And so I almost would rather you have like more visual photos of that stuff. I see here you have these circles with it, but like those are some really cool items. More visuals, and then like you can create a video that's maybe like what I might do is consider creating videos of like you unboxing or talking about last quarter's box.
right.
And then you have those archived so people can go and see like the different things that they're getting. I
Yeah.
think go ahead.
I kind of have that now with the unboxing videos. I have an unboxing video section on my site. So I
Good.
break it up by fall,
Oh,
summer,
I see. You do have
yeah,
it.
all that stuff. I mean,
Good, 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 good,
but
good,
I
good.
mean, to watch those, they're not um, a minute long, which is,
Well, yeah, because these
that,
are people reviewing it for you.
right.
You also should have one that's internal. That's like a 1 minute, like you going through the boxes, and then they
Yeah.
also get the validation. I actually like that. You know what's a really good video to make is to take like 7 of those videos of people unboxing them these are influencers and customers,
Right.
and make a collage video out of that.
Yeah.
So it's like a review video of like 6 of them mashed up together into a 1 minute video.
Yeah. And you're also getting not only the product, but their reactions to it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's like you make it like this person's opening it, then it goes to the next person opening it, and this person talking about what they love in it, and this person talking about what they love in it. You make it one quick 1 minute video.
That's a great
one, does it work? It works great on the site, and then it's a great ad.
Right.
For ad sets on Facebook, posting on Instagram. So you can make it every quarter, you can make a collage. It's a summary of everybody's reaction to that month's box.
Yeah.
That'll get people excited.
Right.
Then they don't have to watch 7 of them that are longer than 8 minutes.
Right.
Do a summary of all of them together.
So apart from LinkedIn, corporate sales, how do you get inroads into that?
Yeah. So, corporate. So here's the thing. There's a brand you probably heard of that was B2B subscription box called Snack Nation.
Yeah.
So Snack Nation, now their business model changed tremendously. They actually had to switch their business model to direct to consumer because they needed to get snacks to the home. Because with the pandemic, like nobody's working in the office right now. So I don't even love the idea of you thinking about the corporate sales thing at this point because it's less prevalent. That being said, things are going to go back to some sort of 50-50, like 70-30 work from home, work from home. Here's the thing about corporate sales is it's no easy way to do it. That's not like the old fashioned scrappy phone call, emails. It makes it a little bit harder. You can't go on a Facebook ad and target. You probably could run some targeting entrepreneurs, but like you're trying to be like super focused, right? To like one specific individual, whether it's HR, whether it's events planner, whether it's the CEO of the company. You have to get more scrappy, or I should say the term traditional marketing tactics when you're doing it, when you're going B2B, right? It's just like anything else. You don't see people selling radio ads on Instagram, or you don't see them selling them on LinkedIn.
Right.
I like your consumer approach much better because you're going to catch the eye of that person anyways that works for the company.
Yeah.
Now you could have a section on your site about corporate gifting or corporate, but go ahead. What were you going to say?
So I was thinking also, once things open up there are trade shows for administrative professionals, for example, right? Or HR professionals and people who are really looking to either reward their employees or, again, looking at giving clients gifts that aren't, wine or chocolate or some tchotchke that they're never going to use. They're just going to re-gift it.
Yep.
Right. So what do you think of doing trade shows for particular industries that would, offer that?
Yeah, I don't love it.
Okay.
I think it depends on like how much it costs. So when we had Gentleman's Box, we had several companies that had reached out about. One of them was a corporation that bought 300 boxes for their customers, for their clients. We had probably a half a dozen to a dozen companies that had 2 or 3 subscriptions and they were giving it to like their best employee. Like they were doing, but the truth is it wasn't like scaling, right? Like that was like such a low percentage of our revenue. And you got to remember, you want subscribers. When you're gifting, you're getting one-offs. It's just like it's a shot of revenue, but it's like not building a scalable business, right? Not to say that like Rocket Financial can't like really find this, love it, and get 500 of subscriptions for their employees. Like maybe they would do something like that.
Sure.
But again, you're gonna have to reach out to them, like, and then you're talking to that administrative person,
right?
And if this is like, again, with the pandemic, like, I'm also thinking, like, I don't even want you. My opinion, I'm like focused on the consumer right now. Like, people are working from home. They need to get creative. They need to make that environment cool because they're stuck at home all day.
Right.
Like, they're not even getting a different environment by just leaving the home. So, like, let's bring a different environment to the home at their desk. The corporate gifting, I believe, would result in you having to do a lot of like outreach, phone calls, email.
Yeah.
I don't love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one opinion. I don't lie. I'm not saying it can't work. I just don't see it scaling. I think you get 10,000 people to sign up for this because they're just working from home.
Okay.
Versus like one-offs.
One of the marketing strategies that I want to. Are you familiar with Duluth Trading Company?
Yeah.
They do a lot of stuff for men's clothing, and their marketing is really creative. I don't know if you have their.
Very creative. I know exactly.
Brochure, but it's really kind of. You're familiar with the British term cheeky?
Sure.
Right. And I love that kind of marketing. I think it's more attention getting rather than here's what the product is, here's how it benefits you. It's a little, they're even
a brand identity,
so that sort of thing.
It's their brand identity, right?
Yeah. How far do you think? And it's all sort of based on humor. So what are your thoughts on possibly doing that sort of, using that sort of model for Desk Stash, and how far could we go with that?
So this is going back to brand identity and tone and voice.
Yeah.
So when you're building a big business, all big brands have a tone and voice and brand identity. You build a brand guide, you distribute that to the company wide. When you hire a new employee, they get that. This is, when you're thinking about that, one, like the product fit has to be there. So like I don't know that their tone and voice makes the most sense, but maybe the tone and voice of like The Office, right? Or Seinfeld, like dry humor, Seinfeld. Right. I'm just thinking like you need one. I think the idea of you building a brand identity is a must. Like I think that I think that you are thinking about this absolutely right. It's just choosing the right one. Duluth Trading Clothing Company, like they talk about their loose jeans versus tight jeans, like that's their tone and voice. That's what's working for that brand product.
Right.
I see yours as more of like a dry humor, maybe it's something along the look and feel of The Office. It's a great show that was like on forever, and your stuff is office desk stuff, and you can even get like super creative with like things that might have been on one of those desks can be in the box one of these times.
Yeah.
Like thinking about some of those things, like maybe what Dwight had on his desk one time. I think you should do it. I think you need to think of the brand exercise for that, but it can't just be like what Duluth is doing. It's got to be what fits Desk Stash.
Yeah, you're sort of using them as inspiration, right? Because the product is fun. People open this box and they, the thing that I get is no way, or this is fun, or I've never seen anything like this before in a store, or this is really clever, but it has utility, right? Yep. One of the things we offer people is, obviously we have a showstopper item in there, and it's usually like a tape dispenser, but we're not going to include that in every box. So the other things, though, like Post-it notes, we're going to encourage people to use them up, wear them out, that sort of thing. But it's got to be fun too.
Yep.
The product is fun. The marketing has to match that.
For sure. And that comes with the brand and tone and voice, the brand identity. You got to do it on your website, right? Like all of that ties into it. And so whenever you identify what that is, it starts with your ad set to the point that they land on your page to that unboxing experience. It's all cohesive.
Yeah.
That's going to build that community. That's going to build that longevity with the consumer.
So one of the other challenges I have is each box is suitable for both men and women, right? Mm-hmm. So each item has to be sort of gender neutral, right? So I'm not going to include things with like that are particularly, things that might be considered feminine, like flowery things or that sort of thing, or on the opposite end of the spectrum, with males like hunting, guns, that sort of thing.
Yep.
I mean, I realize I'm stereotyping a bit, but you know what I mean? So how best to vet that sort of thing if I'm considering, the January box and something is kind of questionable whether both men and women will like it? How best?
Walk them down a questionnaire.
Yeah.
So put them through a questionnaire from the beginning. Like, let me help. Like, looking to like, don't take this as literally what I'm saying, but like in the context of looking to brighten up your desk at home, or looking to like give your desk a facelift. Take this questionnaire. Question 1, boom. Are you into this, or this? You guide them down. Now they're making these micro commitments. They've answered like 6 or 7 questions. Think of it like a style quiz for somebody getting like a trunk club or a Stitch Fix.
Yeah.
And then you direct them to which box they're going to get.
Given that we're a small shop at this point, everybody gets the same thing. There was
Right.
one box where we had these really cool vinyl. There are notebooks, small notebooks that were made of recycled records, right? And so the vendor that I worked with had options from the 70s and 80s. And, I got like Rolling Stones, Fleetwood Mac, some more contemporaries. I got Madonna. And I sent out a survey on that. And then folks got whatever was their favorite artist as a surprise. But subsequently, that was a lot of work, right? As a small shop. But generally, everybody gets the same thing in every box. And I like to keep it a surprise until, the unboxing videos start coming out, the reviews start coming out. So when I'm vetting products, I don't necessarily want to reveal what's coming up in the box. So what do you think?
You wouldn't reveal. You might ask a question like, which of these images stands out to you? One's like a hunting, one's a flower bed, one's a race car, one's a like concert. Like based on what they choose is going to give you the direction of like style A box or style B box. Does that make sense?
It does. What do you think about maybe doing a small focus group of subscribers, like a few folks that are very vocal about how much they love it, their yearly subscribers, that sort of thing, and really sort of bouncing products off of them. So they'll get sort of a sneak peek and maybe they'll like that. But
you call them like your desk stash insiders. These are people you run ideas by, right? And so they don't necessarily know what's coming in the next one. We should do this. Everybody that has a subscription should do this. Like, hey, here's 3 items. Which do you like best? And like if 75% of them pick this, then you make sure, maybe it's going to come up not in the next one. It could come up in the one 3/4 from now.
Yeah.
But you also will find out if they don't like they don't like A, then you don't ever want to put that in a future box.
Right. Okay. I've got a pretty robust email list, but I haven't really done anything with it. I think that especially during the holiday season, emails are becoming a little overwhelming and people are just ignoring them. So what do you think knowing this product, what would be good emails to send out apart from, we're running a sale or our next box?
Content. 5 ways to work from home, 5 things to do at your desk, 10 stretches for when you've been sitting at your desk all day.
Right.
10 new gadgets every office needs, like everything around that. Like I saw the other day, I think it's called Rocketbook.
Oh yeah.
I mean, first of all, that's a sick item to like be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, if it's too expensive, like showing people that stuff, right? And now you build like an affiliate agreement with those companies, and they sign up and they go buy a Rocketbook. Maybe you get $10. Like you built this. Like there's another way to drive revenue there. It's content. I don't think you should send in very many emails at all about signing up. It should always be content, and then like at the bottom, it's like check out that. Desk dash.
And I haven't, obviously.
Yeah, good.
Sent out a ton of those because I think people just get sort of, it just gets deleted.
Yeah. It looks like Amanda has some suggestions. Oh, Amanda says she loves rocketing, and she also said here, looks like she pulled the same way there's the same way that makeup boxes work. They ask about what best suits them. So they use a questionnaire. She's saying, and she's right. A lot of companies will use a questionnaire to find out like what type of makeup they might like, or put them down like a sort of quiz. So then they send them the right box. Because if you get the first box right, they're going to stay on for the second, the third, and the fourth, right? Yeah. So I think it's really good at what you're doing. All right. Well, we got a few minutes. What's the final pressing question you have, or what's one thing I can tell you that might help you?
Gosh. I've pretty much asked the questions that were given you, but I'm ready to grow, and I just seem sort of stuck at a number of subscribers.
Yep.
I've reached this point, and I want to get beyond that. And between churn and new subscribers, it's still remaining the same, and it's hard for me to bust through this particular number that I have.
I'll tell you my 3 tips, I think, and things you should do. 1, increase content exposure. Try to write up one thing a week to start, like one blog, one list, tips, something. You post it on social, you post it on LinkedIn, you send it in an email. That's number 1. Number 2, the website needs a facelift. We need to make this look and feel. Actually, number 2 is build that tone and voice that you want and build the website around that tone and voice.
Right.
That has to happen. And then 2, let's get a couple like pop-ups going on here, right? So you've got a less chat. Let's add 2 things. Let's add an exit intent. They're going to leave. A pop-up comes up. It says, download this ebook on making your day better from working from home. Enter your email address, or enter your email address for 30% off your first order. Let's do a pop-up when they're trying to leave. Okay. So it's called exit intent. It identifies that the mouse is going towards the X, and it throws the pop-up up there. And then also there's another pop-up that will pop up in the bottom left that will say like, so-and-so just bought one of these a day ago. New subscriber desk stash from Detroit, Michigan 7 hours ago. It works really well. It gets the consumer to see other people are signing up for it and makes them want to sign up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Matt also asks, what is the website?
Yeah.
Desk stash, stash.com.
Yeah, check it out. So Dan, awesome. Glad we got to connect. I hope this was helpful.
Absolutely.
If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Those of you watching, as you know, I love doing this. If you want to get on and ask me questions, it's SUBTA.com/Chris G. You can fill out the form and you can be on one of our upcoming shows. Also, SUBTA.com's got a bunch of great content. SUBTA Studios. Make sure you subscribe and like our buttons to be notified when we're coming out new videos. We just launched a new video on YouTube about affiliate marketing with Forsomatic. Really good content in there. So check that out. And I hope everybody's an amazing weekend. And Dan, thanks again. Good luck with everything.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Take care.